Hey there guys, Anthony Joshua has now finished his training camp. He will be soon stepping into the ring, making his American debut against Andy Ruiz Jr., who is a very adequate opponent and he will bring the heat on June 1st. He's coming to win the Unified Heavyweight Championships, so Anthony Joshua is going to have to be on top of his game. Now, how does Anthony Joshua beat Andy Ruiz and how has he been preparing to do so? Now obviously there was kind of a change in his training because Jarrell Miller had to forfeit the bout because he failed multiple drugs tests, so he wasn't allowed to fight on June 1st, so Andy Ruiz was drafted in as a late replacement and now Anthony Joshua will have to prepare for him. And the dude can fight. Andy Ruiz brings something completely different to the table than what Anthony Joshua has faced in the ring before. I think Andy Ruiz was the closest they could get to Jarrell Miller, but still he is very different. He's a lot faster and he is more powerful. And one thing Anthony Joshua cannot do is allow himself to switch off or be thinking about Tyson Fury fights or Deontay Wilder undisputed fights before he has beat Andy Ruiz, because if he does, that would be a massive mistake. Now obviously in training, Anthony Joshua will be bringing his weight down slightly because Andy Ruiz will be faster than Jarrell Miller, whereas against Jarrell Miller he'd have to be heavier and be able to hold on to Jarrell Miller and walk him back. But Andy Ruiz will not be fighting him that way. Andy Ruiz will come in low, try and get under the jab and work the shots over the top of Anthony Joshua's guard, just as Alexander Povetkin done. Now, Alexander Povetkin had a lot of success against Anthony Joshua in the early rounds. He was catching Anthony Joshua, but the shots, the power just wasn't hurting Anthony Joshua. Now, Andy Ruiz is not more powerful than Povetkin, but he is faster. The only reason why that will work to his advantage is he can hit Anthony Joshua with shots he doesn't see coming. Alexander Povetkin was able to tag Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua was falling in with shots in the early rounds. Ruiz will not be doing the same thing. He'll be working his way on the inside, fighting on the inside. That is where he can land more powerful shots than Povetkin did. Pound for pound, Povetkin is a more powerful puncher, but Andy Ruiz will be able to get more power off into his shots because he will be fighting on the inside. And where he is a shorter fighter, Anthony Joshua will struggle against him. He always does struggle against shorter fighters because with taller fighters, he can find his range with the jab and keep them on the end of it. And usually when he's fighting a taller opponent, he is the faster fighter in there. Shorter fighters are normally more tricky and harder to tag clean. That is what Anthony Joshua will struggle with against Andy Ruiz, landing power shots. Although I fully expect Anthony Joshua to come away with a knockout victory over Andy Ruiz, I think he will just have too much for him. In the middle to late rounds, I think he will start finding his range with the jab and then set something up big. And Andy Ruiz, where he's going to have to try and walk through a lot of punches, that isn't going to do him much good. And once Anthony Joshua can start backing Andy Ruiz up, that could spell the end for this fight. But again, Anthony Joshua cannot be focusing on anything else other than Andy Ruiz for this fight, because Ruiz will come with a game plan and the mentality to win. But guys, what are your thoughts on this fight? Do you think it's a good fight, and what round are you picking Anthony Joshua to win in? Or possibly do you see it going the distance? Or are you going for an upset? Please drop your thoughts in the comments below, please like the video and subscribe for more content. Thank you guys.